Hi everyone, it's Scrappy Kathy, and I'm here to do my half of the really fun new series that Scrappy Adam and I have started called Scrap Backwards. And if you watched us last week or have seen our posts or joined the Facebook group, you know that the notion is kind of a simple one. We start with the embellishments and work backwards to the papers and the photos and the story, which is a little different from the way most scrapbooking is done, I would say. Although in the week since we've kind of brought this out into the public, I find that there are lots of people who were either excited to try it or had done it before and it felt somehow vindicated. So it's been great. So without belaboring that, I will show you again the sheet that started it all for me. This sheet actually, and loving it and wanting to use it, was actually what gave me the idea when Adam and I were talking about doing a series. We had no idea what it was going to be, and I thought this might be, I kind of glanced over to where these sheets are stored in my craft room, and I saw this and I thought, why don't we just do something based on sticker sheets? So this is a chipboard sheet from my mind's eye from, I think, 2013. And then this is a sticker sheet from Echo Park that goes back to 2012. And the colors are kind of similar. I figured I could use some of these on the same layout. And then my papers that I chose, without going through them all, they're kind of the color scheme that you see in there. There's black and white, there's teal, there's green, and I intentionally picked a floral so that if I do a girly page or a gardening page or even just a page where I feel like putting on flowers, there's yellow cardstock, there's this green arrow pattern, and the other side of it's kind of a ledger. There's this yellow honeycomb, which has clouds and sunshine on the other side. This beautiful black and white polka dot, which I still yet have not used. There's this floral, which is a softer floral, but what I really like is it has this kind of candy cane red on the back of it. And there's this navy blue. Today I'm going with black cardstock as my base. And let me pull this up. I have a sketch from Lisa Sikorsky of Sikorsky Scraps. And this sketch is actually one of those on her Facebook page called Scrap and Sketch. And it's really simple in its design. I just love it. It's got the strips of vertical strips of paper, the photo with some embellishments running at a diagonal. Just a classic good design. And she's got hers framed. I'm not going to do that, I don't think, but we'll see what happens. So that's kind of what I'm working on. So what I've done ahead, and by the way, I also had pulled in these flares because they seem to go with the color scheme, and these sequins. But I'm not going to use those tonight because I have some other things that I'm pulling in. So what I'm pulling in are these 6 flares, and I'll tell you in a minute why. And this rainbow tape, which is, let's see, what size is that? It's 1/16 of an inch wide washi tape. And what it's going to be used for, it's going to stand in for stitching on my strips of paper. So that's what that is. These little guys, I got these at the retreat, and they're like little acrylic kind of half rounds, but they're in bright colors that kind of go with these flare, but also with this, which is my photo. And should also explain to you that I'm working on at a little bit of a deficit, in that my printer ran out of ink, and the color of ink that it ran out of, and it stopped printing. It actually notified me it was low of ink over a week ago, and it kept on printing. So I pushed it to the very end, and then it stopped. And so I called 6 stores, went to one. They're out of that color, or they don't carry it. They carry only the black. And while I'm talking to you, I'm going to go ahead and fold these guys in half so that they have that crease down the middle. So I'm having to work with whatever photos were in my photo wallet. And I don't have it here. It's over on the coffee table, I think. But one of the photos that I printed to scrap at the retreat and didn't scrap is this one of a really ugly and poorly frosted R2-D2 cake. And it was done as a surprise. Back in 2008, this was actually before we had retired and moved to Georgia, but we came up for James's birthday, which was also the day that labor was scheduled for his wife to have Ava. So Nikki was going to be having Ava. James was going to be, celebrating his birthday with a brand new baby girl as a present. And so we had a party. It was at the chief of police's house that was just a couple doors down from where James and Nikki lived. And at the party, they had like baby doll, kinds of dolls that wet themselves and things like that, so that the kids, Katie and Barrett and Allie, could get used to the fact that a new baby was coming into the family. And they're all excited at the notion of a baby, but it was kind of to break the news to them that it was going to be some work. And so there was all this attention being, paid to them and the new baby and all this kind of stuff. And I thought, okay, well, James is having a birthday, so let's make his birthday special. So when he was 4, 30 years before that date, when he was 4 in 1978, I made the most awesome R2-D2 cake. And he was a huge Star Wars fan at the age of 4. And so I made this, and of course back in 1978, we didn't have phones with cameras. I personally can't tell you whether I even had a camera then, but what mother of a 4-year-old today wouldn't, have a camera at the ready at all times? But, I was a single mom and he was James, and it was kind of that I didn't have something to photograph him. So anyway, I took the cake to his school, and they said, "Oh, no problem. We'll get a camera and we'll take some pictures." They never did. So there is no photographic record of that cake, and he was 4, so he doesn't remember it. So I did the best I could with supplies from a very understocked grocery store to make this cake. And it's so laughable. And one of the hardest things I had to do was make the buttons, and so making anything round when you have liquid squeezable icing out of a tube. So I'm giving him some buttons this time. I may actually put one of these on here, but anyway, I just decided to do some buttons. And I wrote out this journaling, so I have no idea where this is going to take me, so let's just kind of see. I don't know that I like this just kind of sitting there, and I might want to put some of these other elements around it. I have these two half circle-y things, and I just don't know. I may have bitten off more than I can chew here. One thing I'm spying is this set of frames. I'm going to pull this teal one up and see. It's not big enough to go out around, but this could fit on there. So I think that's going to make it onto the page. And I'll figure out how to get that on there. Okay, first thing I want to do is just get these adhered. I'm going to put, that was pulled from a tablet, I guess. I'm just going to kind of put some glue here. And I'm going to kind of alternate them. Don't really have to do the whole thing. I'll alternate the positions up and down. I'm not going to worry about whether they're tilty one way or the other. I may worry about that when I try to figure out where this journaling is going to go. But maybe I'll move that one way up there, and this one maybe down here, and then I've got to have space for this. Is that going to leave me room for two? I think so. Let me put the two on. I'll work backwards from there, and then I'll fit that in the middle. I think it's going to be more than enough room. So I'll put this one kind of high up there. And of course that's going to stick on my arm. And we'll do this one kind of lower there. Okay. When you've bent them like that, number one, it's going to be, when I stretch the washi across, it'll look more like, realistically, like they've been sewn. But it also kind of gives them a little interesting look on the ends, almost as if they were banners. So I'm going to center that in there and kind of mash it down. And we'll figure out what to do with that later. So now let me get the washi tape and see if I can, oh, and the journaling may make it down here, and then I may fill in some other gaps with embellishments from the sticker sheets. And we'll go from there. Okay, this is kind of cool. Okay, there we go. And normally I have worked with black, and that's what I had at home. But when I went to the retreat, there were so many people who had mentioned it when watching my videos but I thought that would be a good retreat gift for everybody. So when I went to buy it from my local scrapbook store, and I'm leaving it kind of curved like that so it'll look like the sewing machine just had a mind of its own. And in fact, it was the washi tape gluer that had a mind of her own. So anyway, when I went to buy it, they didn't have just like 13 or 14 rolls of the black like I'd usually used. So I just bought everything they had, and it was a variety of colors, and some of them were shiny and foil looking, and some were white and some were black. And not everybody came to the retreat, so I had a couple rolls coming home, and and they were both black, and one of the people had gotten white, and she asked if she could trade it to me, and I thought, sure, no problem, because I can get more. And I thought, well, you know, I'm not sure how much I'll use the white, but I thought on a black background, it might be just the thing. Let me move this over here. I'm going to go ahead and adhere it. I'm not going to put any foam behind it because it's kind of popped up on this chipboard frame. And I'm going to come here. Let me first go to this side. And I've got this, which is just the perfect color for that. Not sure where to put that, but it could maybe. It could work right there, and then I could put something else there. I'm going to use this egg beater because, you know, that was how I made the cake. And it's this is a page about his birthday, a little boy's birthday, or a big boy's birthday on that day. And robotic space creature, but it's also about a mom who was a bad baker. After that experience with the cake, I made a cake for Allie's birthday, which was coming up. I don't want to just kind of lay it right on there. I'm gonna go look for, let's see, I've got this green, which really is a nice match for that green. So I'm going to kind of slide that under there and let it be my canvas for the egg beater. Okay, and there's a little frame thingy here that says it's a good day. I think I'm going to fussy cut that, and let me put it on some cardstock first. This is the cardstock that I cut the thing out of, and I'm going to try to do it so that I can use the frame later. Just cut it right there and cut the good day out, and I'll fussy cut around that and mount it onto the frame. And then I've got this, which I'll keep in the kit because I can then use that as a frame and then put an embellishment over here in this corner. So not gonna throw away anything unless I have to. And this is kind of cool. May leave off the "It's a" and let this be a good day. They kind of wanted to have the party the day before so that because it would be James's last birthday ever that was just his, because with Ava being born the next day, that date, June 23rd, would forever be known as Ava's birthday, not his. So he says that was the best birthday present he ever had. So I'm thinking that worked out well. Not quite sure where I'm going to put that. So let's see where the journaling might want to go. I'm going to this might help me figure out where the title should go. Maybe right there, and I put a piece of foam underneath it. And double it so that it doesn't bend this down. And I think that black and white looks really good on the red. And I'm going to put some foam behind this. Let's see. We had ice cream, and there is an ice cream freezer in that sticker set, my secondary sticker set. I haven't used anything from my primary sticker set. I have something earmarked, but it was loose, so I may have lost track of it again. It's this button, and I'm using this button here. I'm gonna do it like this so it looks like it's kind of strung on to that to the thread there. Okay, again, a little bit too gluey there. Let's do it this way so the thread kind of shows through. Who cares? It's just an optical delusion, right? Let's do, I kind of like here's a date kind of label. Let me get it off there. When you've had these things this long, the adhesive is unreliable at best, but this could kind of go maybe right there. And I'm gonna pop it up on some foam so it's not at the same level as the frame is. And it has a lot of the same colors that are there. I wanted to bring in this red because of the big red buttons there. Okay, so that button is there. I don't think I have any other buttons on this page, but I do have these two kind of bannery pieces. That's a crafting word, right? Bannery. Let's see. That is actually peeling off the back, but I think I'll let it peel just to get the sticky off. And I can maybe do these so that they're kind of coming out here. They have words on them, but that's not what I'm using them for. Let's see. I'll let that one be the primary one. Get those glued together. Let that be the secondary. And I've got some glue to clean off. The one thing that I have noticed is that it dries clear and matte, so it doesn't really show when you've done that. So I can do this and let it kind of stick itself down. And now from here, I saw something. Well, there's this piece and there's this piece that can be cut in half and used. Maybe, nope, I'm not liking that. I really ought to just do my small embellishments and see where we go with that. But I'm still thinking about that ice cream freezer. So there's that. Kind of makes that look like more than just an afterthought. And here's the ice cream freezer. Do I want to maybe put it kind of under there? Yeah. And I'm really gonna just let its stickiness stick it. I say that as I'm reaching for some foam. I'm not exactly sure where to put the foam. I'm going to put it on the green strip here, and it's coming up. I don't want it to stick to the photo. Okay, so now let's kind of scooch this under. Okay, and it's kind of becoming a birthday page without being all birthday, you know, being all birthday about it. It's it lets the cake be the star. And let's see if there's something else. I like this bicycle, but I can't figure a way to, or a reason to put it on there. And you know what I'm noticing here is that this doesn't have enough foam to let it go over that. So I'm going to do double foam. And that'll give me room for flares if I want to put those. But I have an idea of using the flares actually on the, need to be sure it's in the right place on there, and it's still parallel to the bottom. There we go. Okay, that makes me feel better. I kind of thought I might randomly pop them on to have kind of contrasting colors. There are 6 of them, and there are 6 strips. That has to go up there, so I guess I could put that one up higher or down lower. I'll put it down lower. So I think I'm gonna do that. That kind of makes this one sort of standing out, but I can maybe cover that up with something else. I also saw, I like this little bird nest because it's with a little egg in it. It's kind of like, you know, Ava was going to hatch the next day. So, and don't tell Ava I said that. She'd be horrified. But we could start calling her baby bird instead of baby squirrel. She might respond to that. And I'm not going to cover that button up, but I might kind of do this right here and let it become part of a cluster with some of those sequiny type things and something else. I started to say flare, but my flare is spoken for. How about this thing I've got right here? I can put that on one bit of foam so that puts it at a different level. So in a minute, I'm going to put foam on the back of those flares. I'll do this, and then I'll put some sequins there. Okay, let me get these things, and I'm going to press down on the strip when I glue this, and then if I need to, I can always re-bend it, you know, like that. And the idea is buttons that you press, not buttons that you use to close gaps in your clothes. Okay, there, oops, put it, center it. These have just great colors and random patterns, and they look, I like the look. It seems to kind of go with the festive birthday thing that we have going on here. And I like that this part of the frame is open. Okay. And so that you can see that the frame is there. And we have our cake and ice cream, and we have the egg beater that got us to the cake. Not a particularly, I used this term one time and Adam laughed at me, designy page. The design, of course, is solid. It's Lisa's sketch, but the rest of what's going on here is kind of meant to be whimsical and childish, even though the birthday was for a 34-year-old at the time. Okay, let me write the date on there. 6/22/08. Okay. Now, let's see what we can do with these. These may be hard to pick up and hard to glue down, but I'm going to give it the old college try here. Let's see where we end up. And I'm not going to, oh, great. So the first one I put on upside down. I get glue on the top of it. Let's see if they allow themselves to be picked up by tweezers. They kind of do. And I'm not worrying about whether these colors match anything we have going on up there, because we have all the colors going on up there. And for a fairly monochromatic looking couple of sticker sheets, just having a colorful photo and some colorful embellishments can give you that kind of bright, colorful page look. I'm going to do another set of those up here. And that might be it. I think I want to do some white sprinkles. I want a green in there. I said I wasn't paying attention to color. The first few I didn't have to, but I don't want to leave any out. I hate when it's so thick that it does that. Let me pull a yellow. It's kind of hard to pick up, and it's hard to put down. This is a purple one. I don't think we have purple anywhere else, but what the hey. Let's do it. Okay, now I'm going to get my white sprinkles, and I'm really liking, I think I mentioned this last time, really liking the look of so many of the layouts I'm seeing lately, where they're just some heavy white sprinkles on, you know, all over the page, on the embellishments as well as the background. And I think this kind of looks like, you know, the sprinkles that are on the cake, right? I should have done orange for that. Do a few there. Some here. They seem to be, sometimes my splatters come out in really nice shapes. Other times they tend to want to come out in lines, and I think I'm running low, so there's not as much adhering to the wand there, and so it comes out more in a, I wanted to get a few in there. So I think I'm done. Thank you very much for watching. This is such a fun series. I'm loving making the pages going backwards from my sticker sheets. So that's great. And that's something I could have done, you know, on my own without all my imaginary friends out there. But doing it alongside Adam, and then having all of you, we saw the interest on day one and decided to create the Facebook group. And I think we have over 300 members now. And every time I get onto social media, which hasn't been as much the last few days as usual, but every time I get on, I see some new fabulous creations and wonderful kits people are pulling together, because they're going back, kind of digging through and saying, aha, now I can use that, whatever it is. And so it's just kind of giving some new life to some old friends there. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you next Monday. And I'd love to see you on the Facebook group. And if you have any ideas for challenges or other fun, we kind of want to keep the first month simple, and then we'll see where we want to go from there. Each week, I do have, there has been a lot of interest in providing sketches or scrap lists or something, and we have in the group actually probably the one of the best sketch artists around in Lisa Sikorsky, and she's a friend to the group and a friend of Adam's and mine, and we know her from Dottie About Flair and all around. I knew her first, I guess, from Mind the Scrap. And so what I'm planning to do is each week I'll put out a teaser the day that we're going to make our videos. I'll put a preview of Lisa's sketch that we're going to use that night and for the next day. So you all can kind of put out your pages and your videos if you want to make them on the same day. Certainly not a requirement, but from each month, from all of the layouts that have been posted, we're going to draw a name for a prize that Adam is providing, and it can ship worldwide. It'll be a Flair prize, as you can imagine. Although he's a stockist for Spiegelmom scraps and for really useful boxes these days. So who knows? You might get a box of Flair topped with sequins. Just kidding. But, it's not just Flair. Adam's kind of branching out from Flair. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next Monday. And in the meantime, go have fun and scrap backwards. Bye.